Welcome to the deep dive. We've just opened up this really comprehensive stack of source material on Channel Islands Harbor.
It's quite a dossier.
It is. It details pretty much every major structural change, every cultural high point, and all the critical approvals from throughout 2025.
Right, and what we're seeing here isn't just a summary. It's really the blueprint for what the harbor is becoming.
Our mission today is pretty simple. We want to give you, the learner, a full summary of this really pivotal year. We're sort of framing 2025 as the year of foundation and infrastructure.
That's the perfect way to put it. The sources make it clear that the main theme for 2025 was this aggressive modernization schedule.
And the hard part, I imagine, was balancing all that construction with keeping visitors happy.
Exactly. A huge challenge.
Okay, let's unpack this. Starting with the physical changes that, literally set the stage for everything else.
And that work started early. We see notes from January detailing improvements to public parking lots and the start of dredging operations.
The pace picked up fast. By February, the big rebuild at Bahia Marina was underway.
And they didn't just repair it.
No, they completely modernized, replacing 84 slips with 91 new ones. And the critical part? Several of those can handle boats over 100 feet.
That's not just maintenance. That's a real signal of a market shift.
How so?
Well, when you add slips that big, you're actively trying to attract a more affluent, higher-end boater. It fundamentally alters the potential economic profile of the harbor for years.
Very forward-looking investment. And they didn't ignore the basics either. By April, the Harbor Department had added 2 new patrol boats.
Safety keeping pace.
Right.
And we can't forget the historical context here. In May, the Ventura County supervisors formally recognized the harbor's 60th anniversary.
Which gives all this work more weight, doesn't it?
It does. It sends a clear message. This is a long-term commitment. Let's make sure it lasts another 60 years.
So the physical stage was set. And that stability allowed them to just roll into a really thriving summer calendar.
They definitely leaned into the maritime traditions. You had the celebration of the whales in April.
Which was right there in the Maritime Museum parking lot.
Then in May, the Safe Boating Expo. The notes really highlight that one as a success.
It sounds like it. People got to go aboard the patrol boats, meet first responders.
Yeah, even the dive rescue swimmers. It was very hands-on.
And then summer really peaked in July with the fireworks show.
A huge spectacular right over the water. The notes describe boaters all gathered in the main basin, people watching from restaurants, from the deck of the Mystic Whaler.
That must have been an amazing view.
Right alongside that, though, was a key cultural event. July's Tacos and Tales at the Maritime Museum.
Oh, that's the one with the live-action demonstration of the harbor's history.
Exactly. Blending community fun with that historical awareness. It's smart.
And that energy just kept going with the free concert series. Weekly. All the way through August.
And even with all the work happening, community engagement stayed really high. Look at September, a completely sold-out Chowderfest.
That's right.
Which, it really underscores the community spirit, but it also draws our attention to something more permanent, the food scene there.
Yes. Here's where it gets really interesting. When you look past the events, the sources give us these amazing insights into the local flavor.
This is where the deep dive really pays off. We're talking about fishermen selling their catch directly to the public, right from the docks.
That's incredible access. You have the Sunday Farmers Market near Marine Emporium Landing, which has all the great produce and artisan goods.
But the real treasure is that dockside seafood.
And the sources get specific about what you can find. They mention sweet box crabs and locally caught California king crab.
Which is being marketed as a fresh, domestic alternative to all the imported stuff. A big deal.
And it's not just crab. The notes zero in on this local sea urchin diver, Scott Thompson.
Right. He not only sells fresh urchins, but often shows people right there on the pier how to prepare the delicacy known as uni.
That's pronounced uni, right?
Yeah, uni. That's insider-level knowledge you're getting right at the source.
But the most crucial insight here, buried in the files, is about the California spiny lobster.
Ah, yes, the Pacific lobster. This connects directly to shifts in federal policy.
Explain that. Why is it suddenly available here?
Well, historically, the vast majority of our local spiny lobster was exported, mostly to Asia, where demand was super high.
Okay.
But recent changes in trade policy and tariffs have made those overseas markets less profitable for our local fishermen.
So the lobster is staying home.
The result is this premium California spiny lobster is being redirected back into the domestic supply chain. You can find it right there at the commercial fishing marina. It's a unique window of opportunity created by policy, not just by nature.
That is exactly the kind of connection we look for.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, before we move on, let's quickly touch on the other dining and cultural highlights.
The scene is definitely adapting. For something casual, the Harbor Mart Deli gets a specific mention as a December favorite.
And Fisherman's Catch is investing. They brought in a new general manager and bartender, expanded their menu.
Right. And for fine dining, you've still got Makaka and Waterside Restaurant going strong.
And culturally, the Maritime Museum continues to impress.
It really does. It's open Thursday to Monday, noon to 4, and the sources detail a new, very impressive addition.
Yes, the replica of Admiral Lord Nelson's hat and coat from the Battle of Trafalgar.
It's a stunning piece that really complements their existing Nelson exhibit. It just brings that history to life.
You can't forget the model ships either.
Oh, absolutely not. The sources make a point to emphasize the collection, especially the life's work of Edward Marple. They are engineering masterpieces.
Okay, let's synthesize all this late year work and the big approvals that are setting the stage for 2026, what we could call the year of realization activation.
This is where that long-term vision really comes into focus. You had the Parade of Lights in December, that huge Chowder Fest, community engagement never stopped.
But behind the scenes, the big decisions were being made.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the single biggest piece of news came in August.
The California Coastal Commission approval.
Exactly. The approval for the redevelopment of Fisherman's Wharf into what will be known as Carl's Village.
And that is a huge deal. That site has been obsolete for years.
For years. So this approval, which came after a lot of public outreach, finally secures the site for the developer. It means they can move from concepts to actual planning and permitting. It's the green light.
A monumental hurdle cleared. And speaking of monumental tasks, we have to talk about the dredging operation.
Right. The H.R. Morris dredge returned in October, and the sheer scope of this project is just staggering.
The sources say over 1 million cubic yards of sand has been moved so far.
1 million. And that sand isn't just being dumped, it's being pumped down the coast to Huwani Beach.
That's pronounced Wainimi Beach, for anyone wondering.
It's vital beach nourishment. The whole thing is a huge logistical and environmental feat, and it's anticipated to be completed by February 2026.
Another critical milestone for next year.
We should also note that other projects, like Anacapa Safe Harbor and Bahia Marina, are wrapping up their final dock work right now. This foundational year is successfully closing out.
So what does this all mean for this week? We have the details for New Year's Eve right here.
And it looks like the harbor is offering a few different experiences, which is great.
Starting with the big one. Zachary Dunes. That's Zachary Dunes. Their party starts at 9 p.m. with DJ Bruce Berrios.
That sounds like a full package. Balloon drop, appetizers, midnight champagne toast.
The works. They have VIP options too. But if you want an earlier night, maybe celebrate on East Coast time.
Fisherman's Catch has you covered. They're doing an East Coast ball drop option. It's a 4-course dinner from 6:30 to 9.
A perfect early celebration. And other spots are getting involved. Waterside Restaurant has a special menu and live music from Goleta Sound.
And for dancing, the Shores Restaurant is hosting a party with live music from Ventu Park, that's Ventu Park, starting at 9:30.
And of course, the notes confirm all the local late-night favorites will be open: Mrs. Olson's, The Lookout, and the Redder Room.
It's also worth mentioning that the official whale watching season just began on December 26th.
Right. And fishing trips are available year-round from Channel Islands Sport Fishing and Hook's Landing.
It's really remarkable. 2025 was somehow both a massive construction zone and a fully vibrant destination.
We've covered the development milestones, that unique access to local seafood, the huge Carl's Village approval, and the sheer scale of the dredging project. 2025 was truly foundational.
To summarize it, I'd say the harbor spent 2025 laying all this essential groundwork, the new docks, the dredging. Now, that effort shifts toward 2026, which will be the year of big completions and the real activation of things like Carl's Village.
A fantastic job synthesizing all of that. Thank you for joining this deep dive.
Of course. And this all raises an important question for you to consider. Given this influx of new, domestically available seafood like the California spiny lobster, how might this evolving local supply chain shift the long-term identity of the harbor from a purely recreational spot to a significant regional culinary destination in 2026? Something to mull over as you ring in the new year.